All right, folks, we're home. We have 2 days worth of buffalo fish we've caught here. This is day 1, we got 24 in there, and this is day 2, we got 33 in there. I caught that one earlier that we already ate, so we ended up with 58, I think, 58 buffalo, which is pretty good, not bad at all. So we're gonna start cleaning these things. I've got a pair of awesome gloves that I can't cut myself with that Ed Hatmaker donated to me after he saw my video where I cut the tip of my finger off. And the video is called Stopping Major Bleeding with Cayenne Pepper Powder, and I put that pepper powder on there and it was amazing how it stopped that bleeding. But he said it'd be better if you just didn't cut your finger. So thank you, Ed Hatmaker. You probably were wondering if I was ever going to use them. Well, if I ever need them, it's right now. So we're going to get busy skinning these fish. And I want to tell you about these buffalo fish. They are amazing fish to eat. And you'll see the coloration of this meat. It's beautiful. What I'm going to do is fillet 1 or 2 for you on camera. I'm not going to fillet, 58 fish on camera for you. But anyway, I'm going to fillet them, show you how to fillet them, and I'm going to show you how to use this fish properly. All right, well, it's time to get to work. It's a little chilly this morning. It's down in the 40s, which makes me think maybe I may want to smoke some of this. I don't know. If I can do that, it's what I want to do. I'd like to smoke some of this fish and see what it tastes like. If I can, there will be a video about it. Big old buffalo fish here. All right, now first thing you want to do, you got to realize what you're dealing with here. Now, these big thick fillets, they have Y bones running right down through here. That's not a problem. It's not good, but it's not a problem. This meat here over the ribs, this is the rib cage. Over the rib cage, there is no Y bones, just the big rib bones, and that can be filleted off of them ribs, and I'm going to show you the most amazing piece of meat. Now the rest of this with this bone in can be cut up and eaten. You just have to be careful, or pressure can it in jars, and you pressure can them on 10 pounds pressure for 100 minutes. Throw you in a little salt. I like to throw some bromelain, which can be also, you could just use Adolph's meat tenderizer. It's got bromelain in it, which is what tenderizes. If you get a bone in your throat, a fish bone, all you have to do is take Adolph's meat tenderizer, mix that in water, and sip on that slowly, and you will feel that bone disintegrate and come loose. So that's what we use in these jars when we can it, is Adolph's meat tenderizer or straight up bromelain to tenderize those bones. But the pressure canning for an hour, for 100 minutes also will do it. But we've had a few times where it didn't really get them as soft as we wanted. So anyway, when you fillet these fish, first of all, you got to get in under these scales, because these scales will dull it out. Now you're going to pull these scales back a little bit and get your knife started here. Come right around this gill plate all the way to the bottom. Then come back up top, and you're just gonna cut from the inside out all the way down. Now this is probably the biggest buffalo fish we caught in this 2-day period of time. Sometimes the bigger the fish, the harder they are to clean. Now you're gonna come down the bottom just like you did the top. You're gonna right under the skin, inside out, then keep it going back. Now it's time to remove the skin. I like these skin grabbers. I use these all the time. Use your thumb to separate the meat from the skin and just pull that up. Now, this meat right here over these ribs wants to come with the skin, as you see right there. So I learned a trick. Start at the bottom and come up, and you won't have near the problem with it. I do not know why. I just know that it does. And you don't want to be losing your best cut of meat because it pulls off with the skin. You don't want to do that. If you get a piece that's starting to pull away, just take your knife, cut it back down to the skin, and try to restart using your thumb. And there's that. All right, now you're gonna come right in on top with your fillet knife where you can lift this up off of the bone. And the bone that I'm talking about is the actual skeleton, the main bones that come up through here, and you can see them right here. You can hear that. Those bones don't get into the canner. You don't put them in the canner, just the little Y bones. And we're just gonna fillet the tail off. We're gonna come back up through. Then now you're hitting rib bones right there. They have a big old high rib cage. So once you get there, you just are gonna float. Allow your knife to just float right over them rib bones as you come along, lifting up the fillet as you go. And these knives are very flexible, which is that's why they make fillet knives like they do, so you can fillet over these bones like this. And you can see how I'm using this knife and letting it do the work down through here. Once you get past the rib bones, you've got it, absolutely got it made. Now that's one there. All right, we're doing the second side now. All right, now that's all the goods we can get off of it. We're gonna take these carcasses and save them, and we're gonna see if the pigs like them. I think I heard that pigs really like fish, so we'll see. Okay, now this is your boneless meat right here. So now you can see this mud vein running right through here. You're just gonna basically cut right down it, all the way to the base where the base of the rib cage ends. And then you're gonna just come straight across. Now feel carefully with your knife. If there's a bone there, you can feel it. And I'm feeling one right there, so right, come up. Right there's no bone. That is 100% boneless. It's a nice, thin, even cut. And you fry that up. You probably cut that in half and make 2 pieces out of this one because it's a bigger fish. You talk about good on a sandwich. I don't know if you like fish sandwiches, but if you've ever eaten fish sandwiches, you'll never beat this right here. This is the best fish sandwich you will ever eat. Now we're gonna go ahead and finish cleaning these fish, and we'll see you in the summer kitchen, and I'm gonna show you how to cut these up and can them in jars. We've come in the house, we've washed up our meat, and I've got enough to fill this thing up right here, this stock pot, probably 5 times. We could fill this stock pot up with what we caught, and so we're pretty excited about that. I'm cutting this sandwich meat out, and it goes over here, and this other meat that has the bones in it goes to Mr. Caleb, and he's stuffing jars. And he'll show you how to stuff these jars. Now you want to stuff them, pack them as tight as you can, so that whenever you're done with your canning, that you don't have only half a jar of meat, because it does cook down. So stuff it on tight, just cold pack it. You don't have to cook the meat before you can it. And you're going to just pressure can it on 10 pounds pressure for 100 minutes. And you're going to throw a teaspoon of salt and I guess, is it a teaspoon of bromelain? A teaspoon of bromelain in there. The bromelain is optional. I've never heard anybody else using it except me. But it does tenderize the bones a little more than just salt and the pressure. But anyway, that's what we're going to be doing for the next while. So we will show you a little bit of canning here in a minute. All right, now we're gonna put the jars in the canner. You don't want the jars touching, but they gotta be very close or they won't fit. folks, we've pulled this fish out of the canner. We made 2 canner loads. Everything was good, nothing busted. And we have this wonderful, wonderful looking meat. Now you may ask, how in the world do you use the meat? You eat it. So you can make salmon patties out of this meat. You can make tuna salad. Anything that you would use, tuna, salmon, anything like that, you can. Fish patties are awesome. That's my favorite way to make it. And when you make the fish patties, you just find your fish patty recipe. No, just mix it up with your onion and your whatever, your pickle, however you want to do it. I don't know. I don't think they put pickle in patties. No, forget my recipe. It ain't no good. No, I know that you make patties out of it and roll it in cornmeal and fry it. That's all I know. I don't do it. My wife does it, and she's actually the true genius behind the cooking that goes on here. I just get the credit for it. But anyway, she's looking at me and laughing right now and shaking her head. I can't help that part. But anyway, this is some good stuff. Go by the way I told you to can it, and you'll have extreme success. So it can be tricky catching them. As you know, I told you there's 2 days to get them per year, and that is if it's not so rainy and muddy that you can't see them. Fillet them like I showed you, where you can cut out that boneless meat and fry them for sandwiches, and then take the rest of it and make it into wonderfully canned fish. It won't go bad if the electricity goes off, people. We've got to be thinking clearly with our brains during these times. So anyway, you guys have a great day. We're going to get out of here. We'll see you on the next video.